and welcome to Griffinscope Tarot, where we learn the tarot cards through not learning the textbooks, but through our intuition and our senses. Today I'm going to be covering a couple of your questions. So first of all, how do you protect yourself when doing a reading, and how do you close a reading? Well, first of all, you could use Angel Michael, who is a protector, one of the archangels, to do that when you open and when you close. And also creating sacred space is very important. So some readers will use like silk scarves. You always want to use proper fabrics, not synthetics, because they don't hold the power and the energy that you put into the cards. You can actually think about what you're going to put or keep your tarot cards in. So there always needs to be some respect going into the cards, and then they will repay you in the same way. So you might like to use a tin. Do you want travel tarot cards? This kind of thing. Think about it when you're on your adventures, trying to find your perfect tarot deck. Note that, you know, when you go on the internet and you look for your cards, it's not the same. It's not going to take you to the same place as when you go on these little journeys and kind of come across these things that you're drawn to in the most unusual of places, and they always work out much, much better. So yeah, get yourself something that you can protect your cards in. Once you've cleansed them, you're going to set your space. So also, I just want to say with the Himalayan salt slab here, this is another way that you can cleanse your cards, your crystals. You can pop them on top, leave them in a windowsill, in the sunlight, in the moonlight, you're good to go. So one of my questions was, when do you stop? This is a very, it's so popular, this question, when do you stop shuffling? So I would stop shuffling personally when I get tingles, warmth, in the hands, flashes, like visions of that person. Even if I don't have a photograph, something comes in. There's a change in the energy, and it can be very subtle if you're not used to it. But, you know, start off, you can be consciously incompetent, and the more you work with it, you become consciously competent with it. So one of the ways I would also tell if I was ready to read would be to lift the card up. If it's facing downwards, inverted, you're not ready to read yet, so keep shuffling. And sometimes, guys, this is why I shuffle energy into the cards off camera and then do it on camera as well, because it does take time to tune in, but the more you do it, the quicker that would become. So yeah, also 3 piles. So using the left hand is the feminine hand, the receiving hand, the yin and the yang. So pop the pile into 3, and then I would just take my psychic hand and I would go over those piles and see if I'm getting any of those signs: tingles, warmths, flashes. A magnetic pull actually is what I get a lot of the time as well. And then I'll say if that one had the most pull to it, I'd get that one on the surface, that one, then that one. Washing the cards is very important. So say if you've just read for somebody or for yourself, you need to make sure all the cards are back in order, upright, and then wash the cards. Ask the question while you're putting your own psychic blueprint onto it, from my brain, in my energetic aura, down my arm, over the cards. They're all being filed where they need to be. Pop them back together with both hands, and you've got yourself a nice deck there ready to start. Or if you feel like doing a little bit more shuffling, you can. Now, when I'm saying about sacred space, very important. So you'll see different readers and they've got like different items on the table to mark their territory, where the cards are going to go. And sometimes it's crystals, it can be objects, it can be candles. You know, when you have a candle light to you, particularly a beeswax candle, candle, it will give you that beautiful healing light, that hue. It's not like any other kind of paraffin candle or a Yankee candle or anything. They're different. So use those if possible. They are a little bit more expensive, but you can just use them specifically for your readings. Feathers. I use feathers, being of mixed race, part Native American, Apache. It's what a lot of people ask me what this tattoo is. It's Apache. So yeah, this is how I mark my space. I'm not taking my energy outside of that. I know where to put my cards. I know what I'm doing. Note if you're going to use feathers, if you're using the crow deck, if that's your thing, note which way the feathers come from, what side of the body. You can normally see this in shape as much as anything else, but also like if it's from the right side, it's going to be the masculine, so it's going to be logic, doing, the energy, this kind of thing. And the left side is going to be the more passive, the feminine, the receiving, the psychic, intuitive hand. So notice as well when I shuffle, I'm always shuffling into that intuitive hand, yeah? So notice the feathers as well can be primary. So, the pointy ones are the ones that are the main kind of, flight ones kind of thing. And then you can get secondary ones. Oh my goodness, there's apps and everything that you can investigate if you're interested as to the identity of feathers. So, one of the things I wanted to do with you as well, I'll just quickly go over this one as well. So how you ask the questions to the cards is really, really important. You want really clear, really simple questions. If I was asking a pendulum question, I would ask it very differently than if I was asking a tarot card reading. So pendulum questions are yes and no, and tarot readings include a how, when, why, what, show me the energy of. All of those, asking it in that way, how, when, why, what, etc., are open questions. They're going to give you more answers. The tarot is like a computer. It's how you program it. And don't forget, how you program it is very important, because like if you're putting lots of woohoo on it, I drew up the devil card in one reading, and somebody said, oh, you said Christ as you said the devil, as you pulled over the devil card. Well, it's what you put into it. I see my cards as much more of a psychotherapist than any kind of devil, woohoo, voodoo, Santa, any of that. I'm very bog standard and simple in that respect. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to do with you is I want you to look at a piece of dance. So those that have crossed over through the Griffinscope, you may have seen this piece of dance, because in order to open up the intuition and get you into these cards, you need to think about them in different ways, away from the textbooks. So I'm going to give you a card, which is the Knight of Wands, and I'm going to give you a piece of dance for me that goes with this one, and it is Michael Flatley, Feet of Flames, Michael Flatley's Best Moments, this kind of thing. This is a fire energy card. That guy does have Feet of Flames, I'm telling you. He's got the world record on the taps, but that will help inform some of your knowledge. Look at that piece of dance, about 2 minutes long, and then come back to the card. You'll see how much energy is in this card, what I'm talking about when I'm looking at the wands. Look to poetry, look to pieces of art, pieces of music that go with the card, anything that you can inspire. And if you can, try and share it over on the community page on Through the Griffinscope. That would be amazing. What else can I give you? Now, without confusing things, all right, I want to be clear here. So it's really helpful. Some people call them oracle cards or perhaps angel cards, this kind of thing, but some kind of secondary card deck that will help you inform what the reading's about. Even if it's a 2-card reading, you can still use, say, an angel card to put on top of that. And that's a word, that's a different way of looking at it. It's not a picture, but it's not too many words to focus on. Maybe a dream decoder card. These are brilliant. They're £14.99 from Waterstones. Really easy to get hold of, not expensive like tarot cards, and really put the icing on top of the cake for a reading, even if it's a 2-card reading. This I love as well. This is my one from the heart. You know, I pick these things up in all different places. Definitely not over the internet. I've never ordered anything over the internet. I couldn't tell you how. So yeah, just picking like one from the heart. You can leave a client or yourself with something else to be going on with. Somebody asked me, what things would I put in, say, a pouch that would go with my tarot cards. So this is my curious cats, and anybody that knows me knows I love cats. And so I have got, to help amp up my energy and get me in tune, I've actually got the 2 cat bells that I had around my cat that died last year. And I also ordered from my friend that's a jeweller, in fact, a little crystal cat. And she put it on a necklace, and in the end I decided I wanted it to go in with the cards and everything. There's also even a little whisker. You probably won't see it, but there's even a little whisker that I found not long after my cat died on the carpet, and I thought, right, I'm keeping that. So you'll build up your little ways, but quartz and amethyst, and if you're working with Curious Cats Tarot like I know Dee Dee is, it would be tiger's eye, wouldn't it? Tiger's eye isn't expensive as well. You can get it in like tumble, they call them tumble gemstones, that kind of thing. So that's probably enough to be going on. Get on that adventure to find the perfect tarot. We used to do road trips, me and my mates, all the time down to Glastonbury, not so much these days. And we'd always come back with bits and bops, and we'd think, why on earth did we buy that? But they always became kind of relevant in some way. Right, I'm going to leave you with that then. So tell me what you think of the Knight of Wands energy. When did you feel like the Knight of Wands? When was your energy all cylinders, flying forward, hitting something like a truck, an interest, a hobby, an issue, and you couldn't hold back? Brilliant card. It's also my soldier card, incidentally. All right, I'm going to leave you there. Drop your comments in the box below. Drop your questions. See what I can do with them. It is my intention to always, impart for you as much as I possibly can. It's going to be my legacy, this channel. Thank you so, so much for your support. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you in the next.